Hi everyone, my name is Emily Waldo with Wreaths by Waldo, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this giant over-the-top conversation hearts Valentine's Day wreath. I've got a 24-inch white Christmas wreath. You can find this from burlap and blingdecor.com. You can also use a green Christmas wreath. And then I'm going to take some red deco mesh, and I'm going to cut 24-inch sections. After you cut out a bunch of 24-inch sections, you're going to take your mesh, kind of let it roll into the center, leave a little bit of space in between, and pinch it. Then you're gonna find some pine branches, and you're just gonna twist it along the outer edge of the entire design. I do this for a variety of reasons. One reason is to get more color into our base, and the second reason is that the deco mesh provides a lot of friction, so whenever we're gluing items to our design, it'll actually hold a lot stronger. And I have a few leftover pieces, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of add this to the inner ring just to give it a little bit of surface area because we're about to glue down some conversation hearts. Okay, now that we're done adding all of our deco mesh, we're gonna go in with the conversation hearts, which are gonna be the focal points. I picked these up along with everything else from wreathsbywaldo.com. We carry all of the holiday decorating supplies you could ever need. And these are two 12-inch hearts. These are actually quite large. And these are foam, so I'm just gonna hot glue them into place. I have some scraps here of 4-inch red velvet ribbon. We are restocking this in the shop later in January. And I don't think we have enough to make a bow, so I'm gonna take some tails. I'm gonna take some that are 24 inches, some that are closer to 16 inches, and pretty much whatever I can find. I'm gonna cut a little dovetail. And basically, I'm gonna take my ribbon tails, I'm gonna pinch them, and all I'm gonna do is just tie them into the same pine branches. That way we have a beautiful red velvet tail hanging off our design. For your long tails, you can kind of pinch them and fold them in half, just like this. And I'm focusing the longer tails along the bottom for right now. And then for this top portion, to kind of even it out, I'm gonna take another 24-inch piece of ribbon. I'm gonna fold a loop down about halfway, pinch it, and that way you have a little one loop bow. And all you have to do is just twist it into those same outer branches here. Okay, that's all I have for the 4-inch red velvet here. So now I'm gonna go in with some baby pink 1-inch velvet. And then I've got this 1.5-inch pom-pom red velvet that we also have in the shop. And here we're actually gonna make the bow together. I like to start off with my wider ribbons. This one is 1.5 inches. I'm gonna give myself an 18-inch tail, kind of fold it downwards, pinch, trace your hand down the ribbon and fold it right back up. And that way you have a 2-loop bow. Now, in case you've never made bows before, we do have other bow tutorials on our YouTube page, so you'll be able to easily access those for a slower tutorial. Then I'm gonna go in with my pink velvet ribbon. I'm gonna layer that right on top. I'm gonna twist 180 degrees and fold. Twist and fold. And you have to do this for any loops that are additional to your first two. I know everyone else has their own system, but that's how I like to do it. And I always cinch it with a zip tie. Okay, I'm gonna take my bow and I want it tied around here, around the inner ring. This is why I use Christmas wreaths year round. I don't use work forms. I don't think they give you as much flexibility. They can also be quite expensive. So I always prefer a cheap Christmas wreath. And it's up to you, but I do like to give my tails a little bit of a curl. Okay, now I'm gonna continue adding tails along the bottom while I'm here. And you could see the difference in ribbon is quite substantial to what you'll find in a big box store. This to me makes the biggest difference. I always prefer to invest in a good ribbon because it'll just elevate your entire design. And you can get really creative with the ribbon here. So you could take a 1-loop bow, just flip your tails forward, and then kind of tuck that underneath. Don't forget to add your red pom-pom ribbon to kind of even things out. Okay, now that our bottom tails are complete, I'm gonna take some tails anywhere between 12 and 16 inches, and we're gonna cover the entire rest of the outside just so it looks even. Okay, now that my tails are done, you could obviously stop right here. I think this is gorgeous on its own, but we do like to go crazy over the top here. So I've got here a beautiful Christmas ball garland, but it does have the colors that we're looking for. We've got the baby pinks, the reds, and a little bit of white. And then for my ball garlands, I actually just take a pair of wire cutters and I split them into a bunch of tiny sections. Save the rest for another project. Now I love using ball garlands because they're gonna make your life so much easier. All you do is you kind of just tuck them into your design, and then you're gonna use the same white pine branches just to twist them in place. Look how fun that is. I'm gonna add these around the entire design. Now we're gonna move on to some sprays. I have some conversation heart sprays here, but I'm only gonna use the ones that are the light pink because I want them to match this shade. And I'll be saving these for another project. And last but not least, I have some of these red glitter fern sprays, and I'm gonna cut them into small pieces and kind of just add them all throughout the design. I think we need a couple more ornaments right about here. And before this wreath starts to take up too much of the frame, I've got these little heart picks. And I think I'm gonna add the tall pieces at the very top. I feel like we literally just need one more pink, one loop bow here in the corner. I love this wreath. I hope you guys do too. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. Just a reminder, all the supplies can be found at wreathsbywaldo.com, and I hope this provides you some Valentine's Day inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials and let me know what you'd like to see next.